What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to today's video. So the topic of today's video is one I've been excited to make for a little while. Today we're going to be talking about a fragrance house that's been around for a little while but has been catching a lot of buzz in the past year, I'd say. To talk a little bit about Scentual Obessions, they are a house that is most popular for making clones of very expensive, niche, high-quality clones and perfumes. They have a few fragrances that are of their own creation as well, but I believe the reason they're getting so much hype and so much talk is that they're clones of some of your higher-end niche brands such as Creed, Tom Ford, Kilian, and Bond No. 9 are so high quality for such a great value. On their website, you can find sizes ranging from 15 milliliter bottles all the way up to 100 mils, and they range anywhere between $15 for the 15 mils up to about $40 to $50 depending which brand of 100 mil you go with. Today will pretty much be a review of the company as a whole, also some of my favorites from that I received here just recently. I've had a few days to wear them and get my nose on them for an extended period of time, and I've got some thoughts together that I'm excited to share with you guys. This video was in no way, shape, or form sponsored by Scentual Obessions. These were all purchased with my own money. Because I'd heard so much about the brand, I felt like it was worth spending the money and really getting my nose on these for myself. I wouldn't have accepted any kind of sponsorship anyways, because for this particular brand, I think it's worth spending the money so I can really be subjective and make sure that my opinion is untainted by any kind of sponsorship or promise of free product. I did let Kevin, who is the owner of Scentual Obessions, know that I was going to be reviewing his product, and he was really excited to hear the review. Kevin was a wonderful gentleman to work with. Shipping was speedy, fast, and was a breeze to deal with, and they arrived just a couple of days ago. And we're going to go over some of the ones that I really enjoyed and talk about whether or not I think these clones are worth your money. So go ahead and stay tuned for the rest of the video. Okay, so a little bit of information about what Scentual Obessions is before we get into any of the actual fragrances. Scentual Obessions is a US-based company. They are based out of Fort Myers, Florida. Their website is very easy to find. They also have a Facebook group where you can get on and talk about some of their clones that they make, get some recommendations, and meet some of the people who tend to enjoy Kevin's products. Some of the well-known companies that he has clones of some popular fragrances of are Creed, Bond No. 9, Tom Ford, Kilian, and many other high-quality, niche fragrance brands that are known to be very expensive. If you pick up any of these fragrances, you are going to pay significantly less than you would, even from discounters or from reputable Facebook groups for some of these fragrances. For instance, your Creed Aventis is a very popular high-end niche fragrance. Even from a Facebook group where you can find them significantly discounted from retailers, you're going to find your most bottles of 100 mils are going to be around $190 to $250. However, Aventis on Scentual Obessions is only going to run you about $45 to $50 for a 100 ml bottle. So I think it's very important to touch base on these and see if they're worth it and if they're high enough quality for you to justify spending money. And if they are, it's a great avenue in terms of saving you a lot of money. So now that we know a little bit more about the brand, let's go ahead and jump into a few of the ones that I picked up and that I've had some experience with and that I'm really enjoying. So the first fragrance that I'd like to go over is the one that I pulled the trigger on the largest bottle of, and personally I'm really excited that I did. This is their formulation of Andy Warhol, and this is by the fragrance brand Bond No. 9 New York. Andy Warhol is definitely a popular fragrance from Bond No. 9. It's well known, however, it's been discontinued. So this is not only a great opportunity to talk about the quality of this particular fragrance, but it's also a great time to mention that even though this is going to save you significant amounts of money on any of the Bond No. 9 fragrances, this one in particular has been discontinued, and bottles can range anywhere from $700 and up because Andy Warhol is so hard to find. So if this is one that you are looking for, not only do I think this is a high quality clone, it's sometimes going to be even impossible for you to find the regular bottle, even if you're willing to pay full price, because it's going to be so expensive due to it being discontinued. Andy Warhol by description is a plum, vanilla, oud fragrance that is, I describe it as very heavy. People are going to know that you're wearing something high quality when you're wearing this. It is very unique. It fits the niche definition of a fragrance category very well. Bond No. 9 fragrances absolutely do that. These will stand out and are something that will get you noticed, get you compliments, and make you smell very unique. I find that the oud in this fragrance is very wearable. Oud turns a lot of people off because it can be very bold. It can be a little offensive to some people who just don't enjoy the scent of oud. The plum and vanilla round this out very well with some sweetness, although this is not for everybody. Younger guys, or if you're dressed maybe in jeans and a t-shirt or very casually, this will smell nice, but I think this needs to be worn by somebody with a lot of confidence and who doesn't mind being a little bit out there with the scent that they've chosen for that day. But past what this smells like, is it high quality? Guys, this is a fantastic pickup from Scentual Obessions. Andy Warhol, if you speak to anybody in the Facebook groups and give them an ask of, which should I pick up? Which Scentual Obessions fragrance is going to be a good one for my first pickup? Andy Warhol is going to get recommended very highly. It is fantastic, it is bold, it is unique, and it does the original some very strong justice. These also, and this goes along for all of the fragrances we're going to be talking about today, are of a parfum concentration. So 3 to 4 sprays is my absolute max for this fragrance, and I get anywhere between 10 to 13 hours of longevity with this. This is a parfum concentration, guys. Do not mess around and spray 5, 6, 7, 8 sprays of this on your body. You will regret it, you will stink, and it's not necessary. These are a tremendous value. Not only are these a well-priced clone, so you're already saving money over the original concentration, the parfum concentration of these works fantastically for longevity. You get what you pay for with these in terms of performance, sillage, and longevity. So Andy Warhol, plum, sweet, best worn in colder weather. I like this one for the winter. It might be a little too heavy on the oud and sweetness, almost a little bit of like a holding you down. It's so strong and so bold. I wouldn't wear this in really hot weather. This does well in fall and winter. Guys, it is a absolute winner. I'm so glad I picked this one up. We're going to talk about a few more, but this is the one, in my opinion, I was most excited about. Andy Warhol was my first pickup from them. The next fragrance that I wanted to go over pretty briefly that I was very, very impressed with from Scentual Obessions was their formulation. This is very small text. Let's see if we can't get it to focus here. Of Green Irish Tweed by none other than Creed. So why was this one so particularly exciting? I liked this one a lot, mostly because it does bear incredible resemblance to the original Green Irish Tweed, guys. I have a decant, and I immediately grabbed it from my bedroom and had both side by side and really got my nose on them for many minutes and tried to kind of decipher between the two. It's certainly not an exact replica. There are minor differences, but man, is this close, guys. This is a high quality, very, very close Creed Green Irish Tweed clone. And I took it one step further, and I actually had a few women in my house. I had my fiance, her best friend, and then my sister-in-law. We're visiting for the holidays, and we're doing some errands and running around, also decorating the house a little bit. So I grabbed my decant of Green Irish Tweed and our clone of Green Irish Tweed here, sprayed both on a tester strip, and got their thoughts on both. I let them know that they were the same fragrance. One was the original, and one was a clone, and just to ask which one they liked better. I don't think, to me, it's really necessary to try to pick out the clone, just which one simply is more pleasant to you. All three picked Scentual Obessions formulation of Green Irish Tweed, guys. I don't say that in a reason that I believe this is necessarily higher quality than the original Green Irish Tweed. I think this is more wearable. For your average guy, for somebody who's not obsessed with breaking down the notes and having to know every single thing is natural, this is a little artificial smelling, you can tell. When you smell the two next to each other, Scentual Obessions loses some of that natural uniqueness that the original has. But what this is supposed to do, what Green Irish Tweed is supposed to do as a descriptor, rolling around in the hills of Ireland, fresh, green, clean, approachable, powerful man, even though it is a synthetic variety, it does so well. Green Irish Tweed by Scentual Obessions. This will be a full bottle purchase for me, without a doubt. I adore it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's similarly close. Concentration-wise, the parfum performs really, really well. Not as good as Andy Warhol. That is a powerhouse. I got 6 to maybe 8 or 9 hours out of this guy. But if you want a solid, cheap, easier to wear version of Green Irish Tweed, Scentual Obessions absolutely nailed it, guys. Another clone that I picked up from Scentual Obessions that really surprised me and I was very pleased with was their formulation of Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. I'm not going to try to hold these up to the camera because we're having some focusing issues and they're so small, so I will put the name right across the bottom here so you guys can keep along with what I'm talking about. This one's kind of hard to miss. It's a very bold blue color, which I found really interesting. Not a lot to say about this one, guys. Jean Paul Gaultier is Ultra Male by Jean Paul Gaultier is unbelievably popular. It's well known, clubbing, sexy, date night, winter, gets you noticed. Females tend to really enjoy it. Fragrance, this just nails it on the head, guys. I was blown away by how nice this one was and how similar it was to Ultra Male. I find this, in my opinion, to be a little less offensively sweet than the original Ultra Male. This one, don't get me wrong, it's sweet, it's fruity, it's flirty, it's fun, it's clubbing date night fragrance, but I don't think it's so punch you in the face fruity like the original. So if I had to take a choice, for me personally, again, I don't necessarily think this is a higher quality than Ultra Male. I think Ultra Male is a little too sweet, is a little too fruity, is just a little bit too pungent and out there. So I would reach for this because I'm a slightly older guy than some maybe young 20s, young 21, 22-year-olds that would wear this. So I find this a little easier to wear for me. But mostly I want to talk about the consistency and how close this is to Ultra Male. Ultra Male is not particularly expensive. You can find it in Facebook groups, discounters from between $60 and $80. So the fact that this is $45 for a 100 ml is not the steal of the century, but it is significantly cheaper and it's a fantastic formulation. And if you're looking for a formulation of Ultra Male that's a little less sweet and is not so punch in the face sweet and fruity, I would check out Scentual Obessions formulation of Jean Paul Gaultier Ultra Male. Our second to last fragrance that I want to speak about here that I really enjoyed that I picked up, this is Scentual Obessions formulation of Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. So the Tom Ford private line, the black bottles as opposed to the clear see-through blue bottles, that is more of their summer, spring, freshy, sweet, fruity mixes, while these tend to be a little bit more sensual and sexy and seductive and more bold, more strong. Tobacco Vanille is definitely my favorite. I'm a 25-year-old guy, so I kind of ride the line between younger, designer, mass appealing fragrances and bold, a little bit more out there, strong, confident, say woody, say tobacco-y fragrances. So I still find it difficult to find a fine line between them. I find myself trying both and not sure where I stand. I find Tobacco Vanille of the Tom Ford private line the easiest to wear for me. Some of the others are just a little bit too strong and bold and get me a little bit of odd compliments and odd reactions from people. But Tobacco Vanille is fantastic from Scentual Obessions. I find that it does not work particularly well on my skin, only for the reason being that tobacco fragrances on me, on my very oily, I'm a little bit sweaty and I get warm fairly easily in certain situations on that type of skin. This turns a little sharp and the tobacco overrides the vanilla. So I gave this a wear. I'm going to try a wear again, more of an indoor setting where I'm not in a temperature controlled indoor setting that's not so warm. And I'm gonna see if I get any better wear out of this. But Tobacco Vanille, guys, this is so unbelievably good value for what you would pay for a Tom Ford private line. You're looking between $250 and $350 for their 50 ml and 100 ml eau de parfums. For the parfum concentration, for the price that you're going to pay for 50 or 100 mils of this, how close this is to the original Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille is a fantastic value. This one wasn't such a winner on my skin, but on the tester card, I fell in love with it, and I know it's a quality fragrance, so I would recommend checking out a lot of their Tom Ford fragrances, but my recommendation goes to Tobacco Vanille. Last but certainly not least, guys, we're going to talk about one that I'm sure a lot of you have been excited to see from seeing it on their website and finding such a cheap version of Creed Aventis. To be a little more specific, this is their double Aventis variety. This is a blend between Aventis Cologne and original Aventis. The reason I chose this over balanced Aventis, which is more of their everyday balance between the smoky, the blackcurrant, the fruity mixture, is I prefer the more pineapple, the more fruity, sweet forward batches of Aventis. And that's what this is supposed to be. The Aventis Cologne and the Aventis combination produces a very strong fruity, pineapple, mandarin orange, sweet frontal note, while the smokiness and blackcurrant is still there. But if those are the notes you're looking for particularly, this is not for you. If you love the sweetness and the pineapple bomb that is certain Aventis batches, double Aventis is fantastic, guys. This is the only one that I have not had the opportunity yet to wear. That is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. I plan to spend more time with this one and make it its own video, which is why I included it last in this list. and it's something that will come a little bit later. But right off rip, guys, this is still one that I was blown away by the quality of. It's perfect for a guy like me who wants a sweet version of Aventis every time, but doesn't want to batch hunt, doesn't want to go and get on these Facebook groups or get on discounters and be concerned with, oh, am I going to get a very smoky batch of Aventis? Am I going to get one more of the balanced ones, when I really want the pineapple sweet frontal note of those fruity batches of Aventis? I can go on Scentual Obessions and order double Aventis and get it every time. I'm pleased with this one, guys. I need to give it a little bit more of a wear before I can talk about sillage, before I can talk about performance. But based off smell on the scent card alone, and off of my hand that I wore for a few hours when these arrived, double Aventis is great for those guys who are looking for a pineapple sweet forward batch, and a fantastic value for a fragrance that can run you over $400 if you buy it retail. So I would check out their double Aventis if you enjoy either Aventis cologne, regular Aventis, and you want to try them mixed together and see what you get. Guys, so that wraps up our video today. I want to thank you, Kevin, again. I reached out to him, the owner of Scentual Obessions, let him know we were going to be doing a review. Super nice gentleman. Today was completely non-sponsored. I pulled out my credit card just like anybody else would to buy all of these fragrances, and I just wanted to talk about them, guys, because I enjoy them so much. I think people who put out high quality fragrances, high quality products of any kind, should be commended and should be talked about so other people in the community can try them out for themselves and enjoy them. So I hope you gained some insight on some of the fragrances that I talked about today, and you get an opportunity to try out any of these if they catch your interest a little bit. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you drop a like below to show me your support. If you want to be part of the founder family and help us get to that first 100 subscriber goal that we're climbing towards, make sure you drop that subscription below. It'll let you know whenever I post and keep you posted on new content that's coming out in the future. If you want to leave a comment and let me know what you've picked up from Scentual Obessions or what you're looking to pick up, I would love to hear what's on your wish list, guys. My name is Sean with Scents by Sean. Thanks so much for watching.